Do you like chocolate? I definitely do, and there's some really good news about chocolate that I wanted to share with you. Much like everything that we talk about as regards food, it has to do with the dose, how much you're consuming, the quality that you're consuming. But one of the things that scares us about chocolate is the saturated fat content. And that can definitely be a problem when you just think generally about saturated fat, because depending on, again, the dosage, saturated fat is associated with raising cholesterol, raising that bad LDL cholesterol. And I know there's a lot of comments whether that's really a problem or not. It is, and so you do want a healthy cholesterol level. You don't want high levels of bad cholesterol. And we know that saturated fat drives that. So with chocolate having saturated fat, how is it suddenly good for us? When you look at the saturated fat content of chocolate, so it's got a variety of fats, but the saturated fat content, over half of it is something from a fatty acid called stearic acid. And stearic acid does not raise your bad cholesterol. So there's a safety net, a beautiful safety net there with chocolate because it contains stearic acid. It also has some monounsaturated fats, which are fine, and then has a teeny tiny amount of omega-6s, which do tend to be pro-inflammatory. But out of its 8 grams, 0.4 grams is of the polyunsaturated omega-6 variety. So the fat content is pretty good because of that buffering of the stearic acid, which is not going to raise your bad cholesterol. So when you're looking at chocolate, it's important that you look at how much cocoa butter is in there, because it's that butter that's the fat. And you want to make sure that the ingredient says cocoa butter and not a lot of other additives. So you can see milk fat, you can see partially hydrogenated oils like vegetable oils. That hydrogenated word, that's where the red flag should go up for you, because hydrogenated is a trans fat, and those are even worse than saturated fats. So you don't want all these ingredients. You don't want coconut oil, you don't want palm oil, you don't want the milk fat. So you just want cocoa butter in its pure state. And then you're going to have that nice balance of the stearic acid, which does not raise your bad cholesterol. The other thing about chocolate, there's a few things I want to discuss. One is that they're high in what's called flavonoids, which are antioxidants. A flavonoid is a phytochemical. So phyto means plant. So these are special chemicals only found in plants that are anti-inflammatory, they're anti-cancer, they're antiviral, and antioxidant. All those antis are very, very good because they're diminishing inflammation, protecting your immune system. So flavonoids are wonderful for you, and chocolate is very rich in them. So, some other things that are high in flavonoids: tea and grapes and grapefruit. So if you're like me, you'll enjoy your nice piece of dark chocolate with a cup of tea, and then you're really amping up those flavonoids. What was the other thing I wanted to tell you about? So you want to make sure that that there's cocoa solids. So the non-fat cocoa solids are the predominant ingredient, because that means it's high in the flavonoid. So it's the cacao plant that, as a plant, is high in the flavonoid. So that's what you want to focus on. So generally speaking, we want the benefit of the stearic acid, the high in flavonoids. The other nice thing about chocolate is it's high in magnesium. So if it kind of gives you that comfortable, relaxed feeling, a lot of that is the magnesium coming through. So you can enjoy that, and that's good for your heart. So again, we tend to see saturated fat, bad for the heart, but that's not what happens with chocolate. As long as we, the dose, right? So we're not eating bars and bars of it, and the quality. So the other thing to look at is how much sugar is in your dark chocolate. You really want a very pure dark chocolate. I like to stick with those that have monk fruit or stevia as a sweetener, because it's not going to elevate your blood sugar. These are really the two safe plant sweeteners. They're not artificial sweeteners. They're found in nature. And I'm going to give you the name of a product. I have no affiliation, but it's called Choc Zero, so CHOC 0. And they do have some with dairy. I stay away from that, but they have the dark chocolate, and it's the monk fruit sweetener, so it doesn't have sugar, and it's very, very pure. So that's something I enjoy. So what else did I want to tell you about? That's really it. So that's the good news about chocolate. And so you can enjoy some, not have to worry about what it's doing to your cholesterol, in moderation, high quality, and just, let it melt in your mouth and enjoy. So if you enjoyed this content, if you want to hear more about foods that are healthy for you and the best way to stay healthy, then please subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up so more people can see it, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.